You've got the cinematic history with larger-than-life characters.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the political aspect,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the family aspect. How did you find a way in to meld the three of those with the balance that you have achieved?
The political stuff was, for me, all just research. Just tons and tons and tons of reading. Same with the larger-than-life, historical, cinematic, political characters. But the family, I give almost all credit to Jay Roach, Nikki Trumbo, and Missy Trumbo. They were amazing at continually digging and mining, especially the sisters were incredible. Mm-hmm. They are so giving and so honest and so unwilling to take the easy way out, mm-hmm. you know. And they showed me the truth about who their dad was and what it was like to be their child, mm-hmm. you know, his children. That's really, it really was years of research and years of spending time with them. Mm-hmm. And that's how we kind of get the balance, I think.
Mm-hmm. Was it challenging to find that balance? Because this story is so powerful. You could have just dealt with the Hollywood aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
the political aspect. Mm-hmm. There's so much more to mine with that.
I sort of felt early on, even before meeting the sisters, when there was an early draft of the script, that I wanted the movie to have as wide an appeal as possible. And I think everyone has a family. And this family was affected in ways that are very specific, but very easy to relate to for mm-hmm. anyone with a family, children, parents, whatever. And I really thought that if it was just political, it would be dry, and if it was just family, it might be melodramatic. But that the two together in the right proportion might yield a movie that would feel broad-based and sort of interesting to a lot of different people. I wanted my mom to like it. I wanted my sister to like it. I wanted my Hollywood friends to like it. I wanted my wife to like it, you know? And so it meant really looking at as many aspects of his life as possible, mm-hmm. you know? And that was the thing, is we stuck to him as a point of view, mm-hmm. you know? That helped us really understand who he was as a man, father, husband, writer, political activist.
What did you find, being a writer yourself? Yeah. Now, this is your first feature film, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
What was the learning curve like for you?
Steep. Steep. I once, the first blacklisted writer I ever met was Arthur Lawrence, mm-hmm. The author of The Way We Were. And we were in a play festival. He was a director and I was a writer. And when I think about something that Arthur said, I think about myself on Trumbo. He was being interviewed. We were being interviewed together for a show, and the interviewer asked him, this is 1982, what was your experience like writing your first play, mm-hmm. Home of the Brave? And Arthur, who had a famously gravelly book with voice, said, I thought I knew everything, and I knew nothing. That's kind of my experience in Trumbo. I thought I knew everything, and it turned out I knew nothing.
And did that help you relate to Trumbo himself? That writer within you?
It was that, you know, it's interesting. He's such an impressive writer. He's such a master, not only of the craft of screenwriting, but of language itself. It was half trying to relate and half being like, who the hell am I to write this guy's story? He's such a good writer, you know?
Well, you ain't too shabby yourself here.
Well, but I think he may have been a genius. He may have been a genius. I think time will sort of tell in the long run how many of his movies and books stand the test of time in 50 or 100 years. But certainly, anyone who can write Johnny Got His Gun, Roman Holiday, and Spartacus is a brilliant writer. And then all those incredible letters. So I felt a kinship in one way. My wife thinks that Trumbo is a kind of idealized version of myself. And I think that's probably not incorrect. I would love to be as brave, as prolific, as talented, as cantankerous, as combative, as brilliant, but I'm not. So I wrote about a guy who was.
What was the most revelatory discovery that you made, either about the time, Dalton, or yourself, during writing this project?
I knew Trumbo was stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I'm stubborn. And I was interested to discover I'm more stubborn than I thought I was. And he's way more stubborn than I thought he ever was. And that stubbornness can be a very good quality in a person. You just have to get what you want.
How important was it to you, and how happy are you with the casting choices that were made? Because on the page, we're dealing with figures that are larger than life to begin with. Hedda, John Wayne, Edward G. Robinson, all of legends.
Yes.
So, and you have it on the page. Everybody has it in their mind who these people are. And then these actors have to come in and channel that essence. Was that a concern of yours at any point?
I think it was a much bigger concern for Jay. Because he was really responsible for those performances, and he really was the lead voice in casting. And he really, I think he was up nights on John Wayne and Kirk Douglas, especially. But we got amazing actors. I mean, David James Elliott and Dina Gorman are fantastic. And in terms of the larger roles played by the bigger stars, we got our first choice in everybody. There was no other, we asked Don Goodman, he said yes. We asked Helen Mirren, he said yes. We worked out the schedule, and they said, fine, if you can shoot it in this chunk, great. And it worked out really quickly and easily. And only a moron would be unhappy with this cast. It's an astounding cast.
You have the Queen.
I have the Queen. and when the Queen told me in front of my wife she liked my writing, I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to retire. Helen Mirren likes your writing, you're done. You can just go away. She said something very funny, too, one night. We were shooting the John Wayne Trumbo fight at the beginning. And there was a way that Jade staged it that changed one of the lines. And she was sort of Helen was sort of saying, I don't know, this line doesn't really make sense now. What do I say? And so I came over and I suggested the line to Jay. Jay gave it to Helen. And Helen goes, it's so nice to have a living writer on the set.